Hello, how are you doing today? Welcome back to my channel, and on this video I will give you a basic idea how you can wrap the motorcycle seat with vinyl. I will show you everything how you can do it. I will change a little bit the design. And my friend, if you haven't subscribed to my channel, feel free to hit that subscribe button. Alright, first thing first, I will make some diamond and you will see it. You have to remove the old cover. Always, never ever put the new cover on top of the old one. Remove those staples in case if you have a staple, if you have a rivet, make sure to remove it too. Some motorcycles it come with a staple, some come with rivet, and just make sure to clean really good that part. As you can see, I am removing those staples. And then I remove the cover. And that is the motorcycle. I will change. You see that part in there? I will cut a little bit because the customer say that that part is pushing him forward. And he want more space in that area. So I will cut it. I will use a snap-on tool. It's work with air. I have some video related to that tool. So I am cutting on that. It's easy to cut it. If you don't have a pneumatic tool, just make sure to use a really sharp knife and you can do it without problem. So you can see I am cutting. I'm cutting like 1 inch. So as you can see, I already removed a part of that phone. And now we'll cut a little bit more right here. This area has to be as smooth as possible, so no bump. I am using a cheese grater. I just put it into a 2x4 piece of wood. So because it's not that much that I have to sand it, I do it manually. But I have a pneumatic grinder. But I decided not to use them on this motorcycle seat. So I done sanding that part. So now this area right here will be a small section with diamonds. So I am making like template, not like pattern, because that way will be easier to cut that the diamond. And will be something like that out of diamond. So I draw all around. And there is. The diamond will be 3x2. And same thing right here on the back, 3x2. Sometimes the customer want a small diamond and you just have to follow his idea or her idea. There I have it. Will be at a vinyl and you will start drawing those diamond into the, in this case vinyl, but can be leather, and sometimes customer pick suede fabric. If the customer go with vinyl, I recommend them to buy a marine vinyl for motorcycle seat. Sometimes the customer don't know, but it is a big difference when you use a marine vinyl. It doesn't get that hot. And I keep marking those diamonds. 3 and 2. You have to square the material. If you are using leather or vinyl, make sure to square first. After I put those marks, now I start drawing those lines from one end to another end, all the way. And this is gonna be the first line, the last line of that side. Now I keep going with the other side, and you can see it. You can start seeing those diamonds. So I will use a 1/2 inch thickness font. Sometimes I use a 1/4 of an inch, but in this case I will use a 1/2 inch, and I put glue into the vinyl, then I put glue into the font, and I glue that vinyl in there. And then I just trim that font. the excess fund. So I got that part, and I got the other part. I didn't show you because I think you're gonna get it how to do it. And there it is. It's ready to take it to the sewing machine. Before you start sewing, make sure to check your machine, put oil, replace the bobbin. If it is half away, or if it is almost empty, replace it. You see that thread is a T270. It's a thick thread, so I am using that one for this motorcycle seat. And I start sewing exactly on top of that line, and you will have to do the same thing. What happens if you start sewing but then you go out of the line? Well, what you need is practice. That's all what you need. If the stitch is crooked, you have to practice it. You have to practice it. And make sure to do it first. And pleats, tap stitch, French stitch. On this case, diamond. The stitch has to be, you have to look so nice. To look straight. Go slow, and you can see it. Simple, huh? So simple. Okay, and now I have to do it this way, a little by little. And there is those diamond. The part that is going to be on top is done. So now I am putting glue into the phone, and I putting glue into the vinyl. Why? Because I have to glue it in there. A lot of people put like a upholstery pin, put weights on top, and that way the vinyl doesn't move. Or some people make a template. They make like a pattern, and they use that pattern to cut this vinyl. I just put glue on top, and I start drawing exactly on top of the black mark that is under. You just have to make sure to follow that mark. Make sure exactly on top. You see, I lift the black vinyl, and I draw, and then I will stop right there, exactly on the middle. It is not necessary to draw all around. Okay, you see, I just draw the half, then I will put a mark on the center, and I will start cutting. I will give extra material, 1/2 inch for the seam allowance. And I cut exactly right there. Then I will fold it to get the other side. Fold it exactly by half, and I start drawing. Because it had diamond, it have a stitch, I have to make sure one stitch is exactly under on top of the other one. They have to match. Why? Because you want the left side and the right side to look equal. So make sure to do that. And right here, because I adjusted a little bit that side of this section, I put the ruler. Then I just make sure to put the chipboard to that ruler. And I put a mark. Those marks are very important. So I got that part, so I just trim 1/2 inch extra for the seam allowance. So I got the part that is gonna be at a diamond. I already have it. I'm gonna put a mark right here, then I will cut it, and I will create a notch. Notches are very important. It will help you when you're going to sewing those pieces together. And now I'm going to cut this part out of vinyl. The whole motorcycle seat will be out of vinyl. I just follow the black mark that is under the vinyl. Put that mark, and I cut it out. I fold it by half, just making sure both sides are equal. And I will put a 1/2 inch of foam. And here it is. That piece is ready to start sewing, but I will cut everything. And then I will take it to the sewing machine to start putting those pieces together. I put glue and I start molding that piece of vinyl. When you have that piece of vinyl in there, you're going to start drawing that line. So you can see those marking there. So I already marked it, so I remove that vinyl. I will cut it later. I will cut these other pieces. I will cut the top piece, and first thing that I will do, I put them on top, put a mark on the center. Okay. And then I draw right here. And that will be the shape of that area. Right here, just follow the black mark. You might be asking why you didn't draw the whole piece. Why you only put one yellow mark on the side and then you draw a line on the center. Because check this out. I just put the chipboard in there. Make sure it's on the center. And I got it. That's more than enough. You will see it later. Right now I just marking all these pieces, and same thing with this. I put glue enough to hold it, and then I start follow the black mark on top of the black vinyl. Because are left and right, I'm going to put two pieces, one on top of the other one. Then I cut the both pieces at the same time. I got left and right piece. What else I have to cut? One more piece. Because this motorcycle seat, it has one piece right here. I can use the whole piece just to cut this, but I'm not. I am tracing according to the shape of the motorcycle seat in that area. By me doing like this, I am 100% sure that that piece is not gonna fail. Then I just cut it right here, and check this out how I cut it. I give it the extra for the seam allowance. Okay, that's more than enough. Then I fold it by half. I have to make sure both sides are equal. Then cut it right here. And then I will cut it right here. I got that part. Simple and easy. That piece doesn't require foam. And all the other pieces of vinyl, the plain pieces, I will put a 1/8 thickness foam. I put glue on both pieces, on the vinyl, then on the foam, and then I glue it together. All those pieces. Sometimes I don't put foam, and sometimes I do. There are some exceptions. Then I cut in all those pieces. this piece, see, I fold it by half, and then I will cut it right here. Do you remember I just wrote this piece and I didn't cut it? There will be a diamond between that piece, and I have to make sure both sides are equal, and there is. And I will do the same thing with this one, cutting, and I have everything cut already. So now it is time to take it to the sewing machine and start putting all those pieces together. Remember, my friend, put some mark, cap some notches on the vinyl. Those will help you when you are going to sewing. Remember that. Remember. So I make the stitch a little bit smallest, and I start sewing. You see, I made some split in that vinyl. The purpose of those small cut, it is because I want that top piece to molding easily. I don't want to force it. If I force it, it will look weird. It will trim the bottom piece, and I don't want that bottom piece to shrink. See, the other notch match with the one what is on the bottom, and I got it. There is that piece already, first piece, and it look nice. There will be a top stitch. I will put the other piece on here. I didn't put a mark on here, but watch how I'm going to do the sewing the other piece. Not this one, the other piece. See? I folded. You know, I ended right there. One piece, so I will start the other piece next to that mark. By doing this, I am making sure both pieces are symmetrical. And I just sewing. I don't pull none of those pieces. So I got one, and I'm going to put a stitch all around into this piece. This piece of vinyl have a 1/2 inch thickness font. That's what I am sewing all around, making sure, check the bobbin, and then I will sew this piece together. I am taking in 1/2 inch with that seam. Then I will put another stitch, and you might ask, why another stitch? Because I want those two pieces to be together. I will put glue on them. Now it is time to sew this big piece into the diamond section. Always when I put this stitch, I make as small as possible, because I will put another stitch on top, and I just make some split in there, and I am follow those notches, making sure match. What happens if one of those mark or notches doesn't match? Well, if it is like 1/8 of an inch, I think it's not gonna be a problem. But if it is like 1/2 inch, I recommend you to make some adjustment, because it is 1/2 inch is a lot, in case if it does don't match. So because a portion of that area will be open, I'm going to sew a piece of vinyl in there. I didn't mark it on the motorcycle, but I know it's like 4 inch. That's the standard size. But when it's done, will be at 3 inches. I cut it right here, then I fold it by half, and I do this. Okay, both pieces are equal. There are some marking there. I put exactly on the center, and I start sewing. Some motorcycle seat cover, it have this gap and some don't. You saw me cutting two pieces. I already saw one, and then I will sew the other one into this piece. So I just fold it by half, create a mark, and then I barely can see it right there where those small notches are. And that other piece is done. Now it is time to put a top stitch. Because I replaced the thread, I am using the T270. It's a thick thread, so I always check the machine, making sure the bobbin thread doesn't expose on the top, or the top thread I don't want to see and expose on the bottom. And because I am using a black vinyl with a white thread, the stitch, any mistake that you make on this top stitch, for example, if it look crooked, if it look weird, will be so notable. So please spend some time practice it before you put a top stitch. And I do the same thing with the other piece. I pull the material to the side of the needle, then I sew it. If you don't have experience putting a top stitch or sewing, this might be a challenge for you, but don't give up. The secret on right here is the practice. Practice will make you better. When you have practice, you will put those top stitch like nothing. Like nothing. But if this is hard for you, it's because you need more practice. Alright, I'm done with those top stitches. Now I'm going to put these two pieces together, and there will be a gap in there. You will see. I keep sewing, and I am putting those two pieces. This motorcycle seat, it have a backrest for the drivers, so you see that space on the center that I didn't sew it, because through that gap the backrest have like a metal and go through there. So just one more piece to sew in, and it is this piece. I'm going to force or pull the top piece because I want to the bottom piece shrink a little bit. It's not going to affect it. I just doing this because the front section of this motorcycle seat is like have like a weird shape, and I just doing this way. That is not going to affect. In case if it is showing a little bit of wrinkle, you're just going to put like a power steamer or put in a heat gun, apply hot air, and that will remove those wrinkles. In case if it have it, but I don't think so. So I'm done with the sewing process. Now I'm going to put a plastic. The purpose of this plastic is, it have diamond and it have a lot of stitches. If the customer leave the motorcycle seat outside and it rains a lot, no matter what, the water will go through it, no matter what. But I'm trying to minimize that by putting plastic. I will use a stainless steel staple, a 1/4 of an inch. I always recommend, if you're going to staple a motorcycle seat cover, use the right material. For example, stainless steel staple, marine vinyl, marine thread, always. I put glue in there, then I glue that vinyl into that foam. I will put a hot air at the end. Just make sure I want that glue to activate 100%. And I just pull one staple right here. Those staples I might end up removing. Most of the time, the first staple I remove it at the end. Most of the time. And I keep pulling, making sure no wrinkle. This is a simple motorcycle seat. A simple. Compared to some other design, this is a piece of cake, because there are some motorcycle seat cover that require patience, require time, but this is not. And you are seeing it. Simple and easy. And then I staple that vinyl pull, and you can see it right there. Then after that, I just trim the excess material. Make sure to, if you are doing a motorcycle, make sure to do it. It is not good to leave in there the excess material. It is not good. And there is done. I didn't show you how you can make that belt, but it is easier. Everything have a white thread, everything, and this motorcycle seat is done. And there you can see it. The hardest thing of this, I would say, is cutting. Sewing, it is nothing. Of course, if you don't have experience sewing using the sewing machine, that would be the hardest part for you. I just give you a basic idea, guys. A basic idea. The purpose of my video is just to show you how you can approach, how you can make a motorcycle seat cover. I know there are a lot of experts, a lot of people who have been working on this trade for entire life, and believe me, if you are one of them, I don't have nothing to show you, my friend, because you already know this process. And thank you for being here watching this video. But if you are barely start learning upholstery, or you spend your time working on furniture, maybe you don't have experience working on motorcycle seat cover, that is the purpose of my video, showing you, giving you an idea how you can do it. So thank you for watching this video. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to hit the like button, subscribe if you haven't done it, and I will see you on another video. See you, my friend. Thank you.